You're listening to the Faster Freedom Show, hosted by us, Sam Prim
and Lucas Walls.
Hello and welcome to the Faster Freedom Show. My name is Sam.
And I'm Lucas.
And Lucas, we have a jam-packed episode today. I am excited about it.
I know. We got a little bit of parenting, a little bit of riddle me this.
A little bit of real estate.
And then real estate, which sometimes we get away from on here, but I'm excited to have a little segment on that.
Tie it all together. It's like what we're doing, Lucas, is we're tying a shoe, loop, swoop, pull, and it's all together at the end.
How do you keep your shoes tied? What do you do?
Completely different. These are tied underneath the tongue.
That's what I do as well.
But the ones I wore yesterday were just loose in there.
There's got to be a good way to do it. Because when I do loose, like it's probably more comfortable, but they're always flopping out.
And then, well, that's what she said.
If you're loose.
Ooh, flopping that. All right. Okay. Well, this is E-rated, but this is
not for everyone.
Well, it is explicit
it's
rated.
Not the gaming rating system.
No, but this is just it. We can say fuck if we want, but our moms do listen to this.
Like everyone.
So we can't say anything. Like I would have gone a little bit different if I know my mother was not listening to this one.
My mom's like, "When's the next podcast coming out?" I'm like, Mom, I don't know.
we got our work cut out for us. I had Pace on the last one, Lucas Pace Morby, and my dad said it was his favorite one.
Oh, of course he did.
Well, yes.
From my dad,
at least I was in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, your dad probably thinks it's the best one too. Awesome. So let's get the ball rolling. We got, quickly talk about parenting. I'm going to riddle Lucas and trick him with some riddles. He's going to try to trick me with true and falses. We're going to play a little bit of Would You Rathers, which is fun. Then we're going to get into some straight real estate talk. We're going to talk about MTRs, the next goal of mine in the real estate market, in my opinion. And then we're going to do a little motivation. And then we're going to freaking fist pump and roll out.
Oh, sounds like a great episode.
Awesome. All right, so let's talk about parenting, and I'm going to kind of relate to parenting as you're trying to have a side hustle of real estate. I'm going to put that twist on it. I don't think the outline perfectly calls for that. We're going to talk about some parenting things in general, but I'm going to put the twist on it of being a parent, specifically a father, while you're trying to have businesses and create a side hustle and have that time freedom, but also have your time spent. That's not going to go in. There's no chance unless Shane or Boehner empties it. So Lucas, what do you say about parenting in 2023 and 2024? Is it challenging?
Yeah, I mean, I think parenting has always been challenging. I assume. Yes. You know what I mean? I think there's some newer challenges in today's world, but there's probably some significant challenges back in the day too, like trying to get your child not eaten by a wild animal or something when you're living in a cave.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, I think
that's a big one. Yeah.
And then I think I try to keep that perspective that I talk about a lot. I love that quote that everybody has their perception of their reality, but then there is a perspective that if you can remove yourself from your perception and really see so I really like that. I feel like that's one of my biggest strengths, and yours probably as well. But I do think it's a little bit harder these days with the technology and all this crazy shit that happens with people. I mean, I know people got I don't know, parents are overprotective, but literally our generation and slightly before just come back imagine letting your 7-year-old son just be I'll see you at dark and just run around with no cell phone, not other parents have cell phones or kids he's with. So it's just a scarier world. I don't know if that's self-induced or not.
Yeah, I think on that realms it's definitely harder, but we also have more education and more tools that probably help guide us and make it a little more easier or harder, because we're stressing out how to be a perfect parent all the time, and there's so much pressure, I feel like, from specifically with the moms, but a little bit with the dads as well too. And
because you can see other people on social media how they appear to be perfect parents even though they're not. So
yeah.
I do think that with AI, with everything, the human race adapts, and parenting's probably part of it.
With AI, how do you think AI is going to relate to parenting in the next 10 years, Sam?
You'll have an AI parent.
Yeah, right.
No, that's not what I was saying. I was saying as the world shifts and changes, the human race adapts.
Yes.
Some people think we're AI is going to take over the world in 5 years and human race is going to be gone in 10 years. People think that.
You never know, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't know.
I do. I do. I'm not cocky enough to think that we are at the height of civilization. All right. So, Lucas, let's get into some specifics. Let's talk about our parenting situation for those that don't know, then we'll get into specifics. So, I have a 1.5-year-old daughter, Eliza, and a 7-year-old daughter, Maisie. So, I'm a girl dad, got 2 girls at the house. What are you rocking with?
Yeah, boy dad, 2 boys at the house, so I think it'll be interesting to see, like, if perspectives and methods would change on a boy versus a girl. So I think we should get into that. But yeah, a 7-year-old boy, very similar to you.
2 weeks apart.
2 weeks apart, and 2.5-year-old son as well, so about a year apart.
Yeah.
But very similar stages of life.
Very similar.
So apples to apples.
As far as that goes.
Ages.
And then eggplants to peaches, body parts.
Body parts.
Yes, yeah. I'm surrounded by vaginas. I got 2 female dogs and a wife and 2 daughters. So it's just the only one hanging, swinging.
Yeah, we're just the opposite. We got one on the other side of the house.
Yeah, you guys just swinging them out everywhere.
Yeah.
Awesome. Makes Shane uncomfortable. I like it. So that's what we're working with. So let's get into some specifics, Lucas. And I think this is a good one to start with. What you're doing, how are you pushing your son or not pushing your son, especially the 7-year-old, that we get into my 7-year-old daughter, Maisie, to do athletics or not sports? Because I know that a lot of parents, especially in our parents' generation, like force their kids to play sports even though the kids didn't like it. It didn't even become fun anymore because the parents were trying to live through their kids with sports. So how are you doing that?
Yeah, I think it's whether it's sports or something else that the parent grew up doing or playing or participating in, something they're super passionate about. You know, I feel like it's very easy to fall in that trap to try to make or push your kid to do the same thing that you did. Because you're like, oh, it worked for me.
And it was fun. And
but man, they're completely different people. I see the benefits of the things that I did growing up, you know, mainly athletics and being a part of teams and all the benefits that come with that. I think we did a podcast episode on that. But so I would love for my son to get involved in some of those things, but he could probably learn and grow as an individual, learn some really cool life traits as he grows up and still have fun while doing it in a lot of different types of group activities, right? But with my passion being specifically basketball, I would say, but you know, sports in general, he's just around it more. You know, I just naturally give that opportunity for him to learn and see my passion for it. And I feel like when you're a kid, you gravitate towards what your parents like doing, and that's kind of what I've seen. So I've pushed very little so far in the basketball, because in anything they want to do, I want them to have some intrinsic passion behind it, because that is when they get excited about it and go learn and get better and take off on their own, instead of you trying to force and they freaking hate it, and then they have, you know, mental health issues because they're doing something they don't like their entire childhood. Yeah. So but it is a very fine line, like exposing them to many different things to figure out what they're good at and what they love, versus pushing them into certain silos.
Yeah, it's tricky for sure, because my daughter Maisie, we've tried several different things. She doesn't like care about it. So it's like, well, do you just let her not do it because she doesn't like it, or do you force her to do it because you know she may eventually like it, and like you can't just quit at everything you do, right? So she's done cheerleading, she liked it okay. She didn't really want to do the second year, so we didn't do that. She does swimming, she likes it okay, but like we have to like convince her to go sometimes, and like, you know, you can stop, and then she likes it when she's there. But yeah, it's that fine line of like, you don't just want them to do nothing. You want them to be involved in something. Yeah. But how hard do you push, and what do you push her to be involved in? And I think horseback riding is going to be Maisie's thing.
That's awesome.
It's because it's just like, you know, you get to take care of an animal. There's like that nurturing side of it, as well as like the fun side of it. And it's different. It's cool. So.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And I think every child kind of finds certain passions at different stages of their lives too, right? I feel like when we were raising our kids, and our oldest were like, you know, 4, 5, 6, you know, there were kids that showed extreme passions for certain things, and Drake was very similar to Maisie, like just, you know, he just would rather freaking run around with his shirt off and jump off back of couches and wrestle and stuff like that, which is cool. Like,
and make up rules to sports, which
he still does that. Yeah, and
like,
I
it's not the rules.
It's hard because I just I know how to play, but I'm like I want to make it fun. So yeah, make up some rules. Let's figure out a new game here, whatever it is. Yeah, we make up sports all the freaking time, but as long as we're playing, I don't care. And like action figures, like he freaking loves action figures, and that's fun. But
is he selling Pokemon cards?
Nice. He brings 2 a day, and he, instead of trading them, he just like gives them out to his friends.
Yeah, he does. He gives them. There was one there in the office one time. There was like 30 Pokemon cards like all over the office.
No, on the ground. Yeah. But there was probably hundreds.
Yeah, but they were like
trading
on the stairs. He was like if somebody's like Easter eggs, they can have them if they find them.
Phil's son was here, and Phil was like trying to teach him the rules. Like, don't do that trade. I'm like, Phil, they don't care.
Yeah, he's like, you're getting screwed on that trade.
Yeah, there's like, if it looks cool, they'll take it.
Yeah.
But so yeah, make up some rules, have some fun, and I think that spawns creativity, which I think is a really cool, not just a personality trait. I think it's a skill that you can learn as well as you grow up. Yeah,
for sure. And I think there's that line, and my dad. I almost feel like my dad was leaned more towards what we do. He did sometimes I wish he would have pushed more because he didn't push at all. And I think your dad wasn't like one of those people that was like living through you, but he pushed you a little bit more to do things. And there's probably that line that you were like happy with it and then not. But like,
well, I see why he did it.
Well, yeah, but I didn't I never like did any like camps or trainings or anything, right? It was just go playing outside. So like those type of things would have, I think, benefited me maybe, but
as far as your skill level.
Yeah, so that's what I meant, and maybe enjoyed more. So we played sports together. We were usually some of the better on the team, but mine was just completely just go out there and do it.
Yeah.
Very raw, as you saw playing with me.
I think like for an example, my dad really wanted me to swim. It's not that he loved swimming; he just knew it would be good for me to get out there and push myself, and good for my body as well. So he incentivized me. Monetarily or by like toys or gifts.
Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I know, it was like a go-kart or something.
There you go.
Bike. Yeah. So he's like, if you do this, I'll do that. And that was as I got a little older. Like I didn't love it at all. Like I would go to a YMCA and I would see everybody playing basketball and I would have to go swimming.
He's like, go swim while he goes up there.
But looking back on it, I really understand why he did it.
Well, yeah.
It definitely benefited me in the long run. So, definitely a fine line there, man. And the other thing I don't want to just like be completely hands off and not try to guide a little bit is, they might get to 13, 14 years old and be like, oh my gosh, I love this. I love that. But then you only get a couple years out of it, a few years out of it, and then you got to go be an adult. You know what I mean?
And honestly, because you don't have to be the best at everything, but like if they really like, if Maisie starts to like basketball at 13, that's fine. But if she didn't like it now, but she's gonna be way behind the girls that have been playing, and
for sure.
And she doesn't have to be the best, but
which makes it more challenging for them to get integrated. With
and they're gonna enjoy it more. If you don't have to be the best, but if you're like at least competent or decent at something, you're going to get more playing time, and you're going to enjoy it more.
For sure.
Cool, I like it. So what do you so I don't think there's an answer to that one. It's just kind of feeling out your kid, feeling out the situation, and I think the line is just like making sure they know that they have to like try at something. Just because it's hard doesn't mean they can quit, but if they put in valiant effort and they don't like it, then I think I'm not going to push her to continue to do something she hates.
And figuring out where that specific transition line is for your kid to be a toddler and then transition into something that they love. Whereas, it might be a little earlier for some kids, it might be a little later, and just trying to navigate that and just kind of let it happen by, but make sure you're still exposing and guiding instead of pushing and forcing.
There you go. Luke rounded that one out good. Remember this, Lucas?
Yeah. What does that say?
That one podcast where Lucas and I both had the freaking sheet in front of our faces for like a minute. Okay, so how do you try to spend time with your kids? I think this is a good one. I read, I've seen this a few different times. Millennial dads spend an average of 3 times more with their kids than their parents did with them.
F you boomers. No, I'm just
joking. I got into I don't think you heard that. I got into a big old Instagram battle with somebody about boomers and how they're like not
big old Instagram battle.
Not the, well, yeah, it was like we're gonna set up a boxing match.
Are you?
No, I'm kidding.
I was like, well, then it would actually be kind of cool.
No, it's not cool. Not that cool. But anyways, my whole thought of like, anyways, we have our thoughts on millennials and boomers. Everybody, if they've listened to some podcasts, they know our thoughts on that. But
Yeah, I'll throw down on that too.
Yeah.
I love that topic.
yeah, for sure. Because the boomers are.
And that's a pretty cool stat. That alone
tells you
shows
right
you we're doing something right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that being said, how do you set a time aside? That was not the best way to say it. How do you set time aside to be able to have 3 7-figure businesses, as well as spend time with your spouse, as well as spend time with your kiddos, and also be able to do stuff? How do you do that? How do you prioritize all that and spend time with your little shitheads?
Yeah. And again, every kid's different, but what I've come to realize is my kids and family in general don't need like elaborate things to go do to be able to enjoy spending time together. So I just try to keep it super simple. Like what they're going to remember to me are, yeah, they'll remember some trips here and there, but just what's going to stick with them throughout their entire life is my dad was there to tuck me into bed.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was there to read that book with me, or be available to wrestle when I want to wrestle. And I just try to be as present as possible. And to be able to do that, we have to have things working well here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if things are crazy chaotic and we're not systemized here, then turning that off when we go home just makes it that much harder.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to a point where we kind of button up the end of the day, we go home, and we can transition all our effort, focus, and energy towards our family from that 5:30 to 8:30 time frame. And when I'm there, I'm all in, and we got an awesome routine. Go home, relax a little bit, eat dinner, go play, baths, books, bed every night. And I freaking love that. It's like my favorite part of the day. So I just try to take those small moments and really maximize those. And the big stuff I don't care about too much. Yeah, we go on vacations here and there, but to me, that's not what matters. It's those everyday experiences.
Yeah, and just setting aside that time and being present when you're there is a tricky thing. But it's tough because there are times and moments when doing what we're doing does preoccupy your time or your mind a little bit. But in general, the biggest thing for me is just, when you're there, have intentionality with that time and then have presence with that time, I think is a big part of it.
Yeah, last night was one of them for me where I didn't get home at my normal time, and I talked to Ash. I was like, I just need a couple hours tonight. I got to wrap up some stuff, so I didn't leave the office till like 7.
That's a couple nights in a row. We didn't leave the office till like 6 the night before. We were walking around the office looking at the...
Well, thanks for throwing that out there, Sam. But in general, 7 is like way late for me.
Yeah.
And normally pretty much right at 5. But what I'm saying is, like, I had to do that to be able to clear my mind and focus whenever, like, for this morning and for a little bit of last night that I got. So those things happen, especially when you have a real estate side hustle
Mm-hmm.
or have multiple businesses like we do here. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like some people use their like side hustle as an excuse to maybe not be the best mother or father, or they use that as a crutch. Because another like saying that sticks with me a little bit is I've seen it said several times that nobody's going to remember you working late in 20 years except your kids.
Yep.
Your spouse probably won't. Your workers won't. Like, nobody remember you won't, but your kids will. So I think that's a big one.
And out of a book, Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, it's one of the top 5 regrets of all people is they worked too much and didn't spend enough time with their family.
Yep, for sure.
So, and you're on your deathbed. Do you want that to be your last thought?
Not like, I wish I made another $1 million.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's tricky though, because it's one of those things where most people are not like Superman or Superwoman. You do have to, if you want to get to that level financially, some things do have to be sacrificed. And
Yeah.
for me, it's like the fun activities or golfing
Mm-hmm.
or whatever is what I sacrifice right now. I try not to sacrifice the family to grow the business, or the business to grow to be there with the family.
And I feel like we got lucky. I don't know if it's luck or not, but just we started our businesses, most of them, before we had kids.
Yep.
Before we were married,
Mm-hmm.
even, or I was. You were married, but
I got locked down, Walls.
you got locked down quick.
Mhm.
Locked down, Dad. All right. But anyways, So we got lucky there. I think, starting businesses from the ground up at the age my kids are now would be very, 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 very
Yes, it would be.
challenging. And, you get 18 summers with your kids. That's it.
Mhm.
18.
And
That's it.
about 8 they remember too.
And 11 of them, or 7 of them are already gone. So I got 11 left.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I guess what I'm getting at is those 18, I'd rather be a little heavily weighted towards the family. And then, I'm going to be probably in my prime working years where they're off at college.
Mm-hmm.
So I can really get some shit done then, I feel like. But I think I can balance now as well. We can have it all.
We can have it all. Your cake and icing and sprinkles. And ice cream on top of the
Whipped cream, cherry, all the good
would
stuff.
that have fun, that whipped cream. So some advice for people, in my opinion, that are wanting to start the side hustle, and I'm not going to turn this into a pitch fest, but it is getting somebody that's already done it to show you the grooved path. Like I say this all the time, that's like the purpose of our community is people have limited spare time. People don't want to spend 20 hours a week growing a side hustle, but then they also want that financial freedom and that choice to make more money. So the best way to have it all, in my opinion, looking back from where we started, Lucas, is to have somebody show you the ropes so you're being more efficient. So that 5 hours a week you carve out to work on your side hustle, you're not like throwing shit against the wall and seeing what sticks. You're actually taking focused and efficient effort to move the needle because somebody is showing you which effort things to do and which to not do. So anyways, that's the biggest thing for me is if you want to do this, if you want to have it all, rather than being crazy and efficient and not ever starting or completely, taking 6 years to buy your first rental property, get around other people. Probably should pay for somebody to teach you the ropes, and then you'll get there so much faster with less headache. And you pay for the knowledge either way, Lucas. You either pay for it via lack of starting, losing money on deals, or you pay for it to pay somebody to show you the path. So you're paying for it anyway. I would take the easiest path, which is paying for it to learn.
Work smarter, not harder, Sam. Let's go to this other question. I want to make sure we get to this. Do you think physical punishment to your children is necessary or good or bad? Or what's your thought?
No,
on that?
we're big no spankers here at the Prim household, so no spanking. I think it's different. I don't know, if I had a little son, maybe I'd swat his ass as if he did something, but no, not to the girls. No, I don't know if that's good or bad, but we're not the spanking parents. That's not what we believe in. I do know parents that do it, and I'm not going to name any names. I do know parents that do it, and their kids beat the shit out of each other in not a good way. Like they see that they get hit, so they think that hitting others is a solution, and usually the more they get hit, the less it affects them, so the harder you have to hit. It just starts this cycle of physical, I'm not gonna say abuse in the future, like domestic type things, but it starts the like, hey, my parents hit me, so I'm gonna hit this person, and that's usually not the solution, is hitting people, as you know from your bar fights.
Yeah, not the solution. Yeah, we're the same thing. Yeah, no hitting here. I think I like the most I ever did is like pick my son up like one-handed or something and like threw him on the bed or something like that. Like
the most I ever did was I grabbed him by the throat and I threw him up against the
grabbed
wall
his like body,
and I took a belt out with the buckle and I hit him across the chin.
No, but I mean, I would say like our generation, like probably the majority, of our parents did some sort of physical punishment.
Mm-hmm.
So we grow up like in the people now, it's like two different buckets. Like you either thought it benefited you, like, look how I turned out great, like this is what my parents did, so I'm going to do it.
And the spanking is the reason.
And the spanking is the reason. Or you're like, hey, I didn't like that as a kid. That was a detriment to our relationship with our parents, not a benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to continue that cycle or whatever you want to call it. So
yeah, I would say most of the people I know lean towards the non-physical correction. Would you agree?
I think so. I don't really know. It's not something I ask or talk about.
I guess,
but,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I know you, so yeah, you don't. So
I don't.
There's some stats up there, but I want to get back to one thing you said, Sam. Is that you were talking about if you had a son, you might. So you do think there's a difference?
I do, maybe. I don't know. And I see it with like other people, like are just like, so like some other people that I know, like grandparents, or like they just seem to be a little bit softer on girls than boys in general. But
Yeah,
maybe
and,
not.
and maybe softer is the right word, but I don't think hitting's
No,
beneficial.
I don't think
for
I was
a boy.
I would never
I feel
like
like
actually.
my son is more sensitive than most women or little girls. So I look at it the same, man. I don't think it should matter to me. It wouldn't matter to me, obviously.
Well, you don't have it, girls. You don't know that.
Well, so you think I'd do the physical punch on the girl
Maybe.
instead of the boy?
Maybe.
No way.
No way. No, yeah, I don't think, and I was a little tongue in cheek with that, but yeah, I just
But you don't know either.
yeah, I don't know
Like,
either.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know that I would not be like whipping them in the butt with a belt,
Right.
no matter what a boy or
but
girl
maybe a
would
little
not be.
rougher, whatever that
Maybe.
looks like.
I don't know. I'm pretty like playful, rough with the girls. It's fun. They
Yeah.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's fun. Cool. What else are we going to get into? We talked a little bit.
Maybe the technology side. And
Yeah, we could talk about that.
Screens or cell phone or whatever you want to talk about. That.
Yeah. So like cell phones and screens and technology does make it more difficult. I had this chat with my boy T York. He said like we're the generation where we understand technology. Like our parents and like his parents, they didn't get it at all. They would try to like block something and you could just go right around it as far as like parental like guidance or like screen time or whatever because they didn't understand technology. We're kind of the first generation of parents that understands technology enough that we can put like parameters on screen time and like shut something down or put, you know, parental guidance on certain things, or, you know, have the YouTube Kids as an option. That wasn't an option forever, those type of things. So I do think technology is helpful in a lot of ways, and I think it's potentially harmful in a lot of ways. I know that I've seen the studies of kids addicted to video games and is addicted to screens. It's the brain and the chemicals perceive it the same as like being addicted to a drug. Like you can't like tell, the brain can't tell the difference in, I'm going to overstate here, in heroin versus like being addicted to a screen. So there is some downsides to it, but in general, I think technology has a lot of positives too.
Yeah, if you use it the right way, I think it's probably what makes parenting right now one of the most challenging things. I think there's so many screens out there, and we have them. Like, but you got to understand there's a time and a place for them for sure, and to limit it, and you don't have to be the one that limits it because it has technology within the technology to help you do that. And we were talking about it in the office about how my 7-year-old and I's little system is. Hey, if you want some screen time, we got to go put in some work.
Okay.
And whatever that work looks like for us, it's just body movement. And I'm not sure if it's the exact same with girls or boys. I only have boys, but I know they need body movement. If he sits on a screen for an hour and doesn't get the appropriate amount of sensory exposure and body movement, like he'll come off that screen and just be a nightmare. So we go do some body movement, whether it's just wrestling or running around or even just box jumps, just like run, just go do circles around the cul-de-sac, like then I'll even like play with them a little bit too, and it's kind of like a little bonding thing as well.
No, yeah, I think that's good. That you can definitely overdo the screen time, and you see it in kids, and it's usually a behavioral thing. A lot of people's behaviors and actions are from their parenting, and if like a parent's not, either they don't care or they're not present and they allow their kids to be on the phone all the time, those or on like a computer or screen or whatever, or iPad, those tend to be the kids that do have behavioral issues, just because you get deregulated. Like you said, Maisie's does it sometimes. We're like, this is how you act when we give you, this is not how you act, and this is because you were on the screen too long. So we're going to limit your screen time now. Yeah,
like we're definitely not perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
Just try to manage it and work with what we got.
So in general, just try to do the right things and be there for your kids, and you'll be fine. I think the biggest thing I would take away from this is presence and being there, and the volume of presence, and just being around your kids as much as possible and showing up for them. You'll say dumb shit. You'll give them too much screen time. You'll overpromise something. You'll miss a bedtime here or there. But if you're there as much as you can, it'll just be fine. That's all the kids want, is they just want their parents there. That's all they care about.
Just want you to listen and make you proud.
Yep,
it's crazy.
That's all they want.
It's crazy, the love that they have. It reminds me of like a puppy, and not a puppy, like a dog. And in general, well, at least the stage that my kid's at, like just unconditional love. You know what I mean? And maybe it won't be unconditional at some point, but I don't want to fuck that up.
Well, it'll have its ups and downs, but that's just the thing that makes me I think in general the world's a pretty good place, but it's just these kids come out, they don't have any prejudice, they don't dislike any other color, race, anything.
Pure love.
And then
Yeah.
the world fucks them up. Like
Yep.
all the crazy people.
Or parents.
All the
Yep.
the world, that's part of it. Like all these kids and all these adults, young adults that are hating on other people for whatever reason. It all stems from they weren't born with any hate. You're born
Yeah.
with zero hate.
I know.
That's wild. And there's a lot of hateful people in the world.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yep.
Cool. All right, Lucas.
Yes,
Hard
Sam.
left. You ready to be riddled?
Yep.
All right. Introduce a segment where Sam will try to stump Lucas with riddles. That was a joke. If you're watching on YouTube, pause in the video and comment with the answer. I have 13 hearts, but no lungs or stomach. What am I?
Yeah, so when I think of hearts, I think of obviously live animals with beating hearts, and I think of artichokes for some reason. The thing that I know has multiple hearts, I don't know if it's 13 or not, is an octopus.
Okay.
And I don't know if they have lungs or not, so I'm going to say octopus.
A deck of cards.
A deck of cards, gosh damn it.
I thought you'd for sure get that one.
Oh, did you?
You're so stupid. You're an idiot.
That's not very kind words to use, Mr.
Oh,
Prim.
I'm
I got
just-
my parenting.
Oh, sorry, Dad.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Oh man, I should have got that one. You're right.
I was
I think an
surprised.
octopus has 8 hearts.
A heart for each arm. So
There
I
you
don't
go.
think I'm very liberal on giving you these. I think because
No,
of the
you
13
missed that
hearts, I
one.
don't think you can
No
get that
way.
one. But
No
you
way,
were
missed
close.
it.
Artichokes was an interesting one.
Yeah.
I'm easy to lift but hard to throw. What am I?
Yeah, I was thinking something like, in maybe I'm the complete wrong direction here, but something like super light, like a feather or a leaf or a Kleenex.
The answer is feather.
Okay, good.
You got that one for sure. And I was thinking you were going to say Kleenex because Kleenex, I would take Kleenex because that is
Yeah, same type
you
of
crumble it up,
thing.
but still, yeah. Feathers, there's no really way. Like you crumble up a Kleenex and throw it,
Yeah.
but like you
That's-
can't with a feather. That's
That's just like an eagle, and you can javelin that. Son
if
of a
it's
bitch.
big enough, yeah,
Yeah.
like if you could weight the end a little bit.
Yeah.
Big old feather.
Yeah.
All right, so you're 1 for 2.
1 for 2. I'm gonna get this next one.
No, this is gonna be your half
I
one.
saw it. I didn't see the answer, but I saw the question earlier.
A butcher stands 6 feet and 1 inches tall and wears a size 12 shoe. What does he weigh?
It's about like you, Sam, right? 6'1", size 12.
Oh yeah, exactly. If I'm 6'1", you're 5'9".
Nah, bro.
A butcher I don't even get this one. Hold on.
The answer is meat.
A butcher stands 6 feet tall and 1 inches and wears a 12 shoes. What does he weigh? Oh, he weighs meat. I get it.
What's the answer? Is it not meat?
It's meat.
Okay, I was like, gosh.
You got 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thanks, man.
Well, it doesn't count. You can't prep for these. I haven't seen the true and falses.
You've seen number 1.
Yeah, it's true, and it's
Does we
true
know?
also.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right, jumping right into the true false. We thought we did this one before.
A segment where
So-
Lucas will try to stump Sam.
Yep, you got that right, Sam. So, true or false? Blue eyes are newer to the human race than pottery.
This is wild, but this is true. I've seen the stat somewhere.
Wow.
That is wild,
that's
though.
true. A 2008 study traced the gene for blue eyes to a person who lived 10,000 years ago.
There's no way.
And that'd be hard to trace.
Yeah.
Some of the world's oldest pottery pieces date back to 20,000 years ago, so double.
Yeah,
So-
so I don't see we should do a whole episode on the pyramids and human history and stuff, but there's got to be someone back in the day with blue eyes. But I will take the win.
All right. True, you were correct. All right. Number 2, matches were invented before lighters.
I'm going to say false.
Yeah, just because it's...
Just because it's
it is false. You would think
Yeah.
it would be matches first, for sure, right? So it's false. The first push-button lighter, looks German, the Doberreiner lamp, was invented in 1824. The practical fiction matches similar to what we use today were invented in 1827. So 3 years apart, pretty close.
So they were close.
Yeah.
So that makes it a little more sense. It's not like it was way off, but yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure
probably
there
not the lighter that we look that thing up.
It's probably not the lighter or the matches we use today.
Doberreiner lamp.
It's probably not, Lucas.
Not like
when we
what
have
the-
our screen, that's going to be sick. We're going to be able to look it up behind us.
Oh, that will be sick. When's that coming?
We're going to be super interactive. We don't know. There's about 5 starting to creep into T-York's mind that we got scammed, but I don't think we did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Look at that.
So it's not. So that's technically a lighter, but it's not actual lighter.
Check out Doberreiner lamp if you're listening.
I
to
bet
this.
if you
looks
had that, it
wild.
would be worth freaking $1 million.
Imagine lighting a stogie with that thing. How good you'd feel about yourself.
Yeah.
That's a celebration, my friend.
Lighting a stogie or something else.
Ooh,
Get him to York. All right.
campfire.
Shaner, Boehner, and T York got shout outs today. Everybody's like, who the fuck are those people? All right. I'm 2 for 2. Bro, I'm going to go. This will be the first 100%. I guarantee I'm going to get this one right. I haven't even read it yet.
No way.
I got a 50-50 shot, bro.
The world's population has tripled in the last 50 years.
The world's population has tripled. And so
You have a 0% chance to get this right.
it's 8 billion. So 50 years ago, we're saying it was like 2.5 billion, 2.6 billion. 50 years ago. It has tripled. That's true.
That's false.
Fuck.
The world's population has actually doubled. We're closer to...
Oh, that's like it should be like a complete, not like a little twist, but whatever. I guess that's how the riddles are.
That's how they
It's
are,
doubled,
man.
not tripled.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, would you rather? Good job. Both 2 out of 3.
That's that a boy.
But yours are true and false, so you have a 50% chance going into it.
But you also have you have a lot of options that for your answers. I only have one answer.
That's true.
There you go.
That's false.
Stop it.
All right, would you rather? You want to do the first one?
You can. I always do the first one.
All right, would you rather lose all your money you've earned this year or lose all the memories you've gained this year?
That's easy. You lose the money.
Yeah.
Which-
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think it's easy.
We can make the money back.
We can make it back, but I mean,
can't make
like,
the memories back. I mean, you can't really.
I mean, if you had to write
big check.
right now,
I mean,
we'd
if I
figure it out.
if I lost my house like that, if I lost everything,
Yeah.
that'd be different. But if
but
like
if you had to come up
just
with
like
the money
my,
to pay it back,
yeah,
we
or-
could do that.
yeah, we could
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah,
That was a tricky one though.
that is tricky.
What about
yeah,
you?
I mean, money for sure. Like the memories with our kids these age, and just we've had a lot of good ones this year, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather, Walls, give up cursing forever or give up ice cream for 10 years?
Ice cream for 10 years for sure.
I'd rather give up cursing.
Forever?
I don't curse that much. We do a little
Are
bit
you a
on
big
here.
ice cream guy?
I mean, I enjoy it, yeah.
Yeah, I could give up ice cream, no problem.
Yeah, I like
And
ice
it's only for 10 years.
I mean, so I
Around
like
45, I start smashing it again.
No, you don't even need ice,
Ice cream
now.
sandwich.
You don't smash anything.
Yeah.
So I yeah, I mean, I don't like cuss that much.
You've said fuck like 7 times on this episode.
But if I didn't say fuck 7 times, it'd be fine.
yeah, it'd probably be more impactful. So
Yeah.
stop cursing so much.
Well, so Gary Vee curses a lot, but most
I
people
love
with
it.
big brains don't. So it was hilarious. So somebody did you know how he's all about compassion and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
people that are mean to him. Somebody wrote a comment I don't get this guy, or something really mean, and he was response was I get it, I'm a lot. He's like I cuss. He's like I have a lot of energy. I'm not for everybody, and I really hope this person finds somebody that they can understand. And he was legitimately
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no
Yeah.
big deal. I hope you find somebody. I usually respond with compassion, but there's a sarcastic little
Yeah.
hint to it where I poke him a little bit with the response. He doesn't. He's legitimately I'm sorry you feel
Yeah.
that way. That's
Yeah.
tough to get to that point.
It is. He's a G. I think there's a time and place for cursing. I think it can be overused for sure, but I think it could also add impact to certain situations as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give up
Can I
ice
say
cream.
freak instead of fuck?
Correct. Is freak a curse word?
Maisie thinks it is. She was so mad the other day, and she kept saying freaking, and she thought that was the coolest thing ever.
We were reading at the bus stop today, and he was sounding out. I forget what word, but it started with sh, and he was like, "Oh, I almost said shit."
He just said it. That's
And I was-
funny.
Yeah.
I do cuss in front of the kids a little bit, but they don't cut that. Maisie.
Yeah, I tried to limit it for sure
Yeah.
in front of the kiddos.
All right, last one.
Last one. Would you rather be reborn into the past at any point, I would assume, or into the future at any point?
I don't know. I mean, I'm probably going to say future, but I've thought about this. I like the hectic lifestyle and technology, but man, think about back in the day when there was it was just, I'm sure there were stressful things, but it just, you don't have TV, you just are at your house lighting your candles and hanging out and reading. You're just there's nothing
How
to fucking,
far back you going?
I was going 1800s, 1700s.
Okay.
That'd be cool. Like
Yeah.
like the like
Shorter lifespan probably.
yeah, probably to
die
a
of like
certain
smallpox.
yeah. So there's that. So anyways, the like the
In the future, you might be able to live forever.
well, maybe. Well, it depends how far I go in the future. But the slowness of like older lifestyle is appealing to me,
Yeah.
even though I know they had their things. But I would probably pick the future. I just was trying to throw you off there,
Yeah.
make you feel
Man,
so.
I don't know what I'd pick. That's a good one. You know, I like my life right now a
Mhm.
lot. It's
Mhm.
been fun. It's a good ride.
And I'm assuming you're reborn, so it's not like you have your like. It's not like you have your current like knowledge.
Okay, so
I
it's
would
like
guess.
restarting everything.
Mhm.
Ooh, wow, that is a tough one. Probably future.
Mm-hmm.
Probably future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. That'd be a
Yeah,
tricky one. That was a good one.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, that's good. All right, so a new segment, Lucas. We're going to talk. So the reason we're doing this, I'll just lay it out there. So I push people all the time from our short form content to our long form content, and they want to learn real estate. Like somebody that watches a short form video, they want to know more about real estate. They have trouble finding that now because I don't do like
Right.
talking head videos on YouTube. There's no like teaching. This is fun. We do this. People get to know us a little bit here, but as far as learning things about real estate, and we're going to probably come up with a solution, but there's no like place I can send people. We can send them to the Faster Freedom YouTube channel that has tens of thousands of hours but it's old. It's the
Yeah.
last 3 years. So anyways, that's why we're doing
Still
this.
good content though.
It's great
Yeah.
content, but I do think it's fun to keep up with the current real estate
For
stuff,
sure.
and that is a perfect parlay into
Yes.
midterm rentals. They're a thing, and I don't think they're going away. We have a midterm rental program coming out probably within a few days of when this episode is released. It's like 95 videos. It's the best midterm rental program out there. There's nothing else like it. Me and my marketing guy Andrew bought a few of the courses. They're like 8 videos, or they're horrible. So it's going to be the most comprehensive midterm course out there. And midterm rentals, like we've ran some numbers, and Kiki has some examples. Kiki had a deal, Lucas, and then we'll break out midterm rentals are a 2-1 in South City that he bought that negatively cash flowed like $185 as a long-term rental.
Mm-hmm.
He's put a little bit extra money and all that thing to do the midterm rental thing, the furniture, but it positively cash flows $700 a month now.
Yes,
So you go from not a deal to a deal, and that's average throughout the year with like
Mhm.
the vacancies and management, everything. So
Yeah.
he went from not getting a deal and not getting the ride of real estate to tripling the cash flow of a long-term rental, even in a good market. So I think midterm rentals are not going anywhere. The supply and demand is way off still, and it will be for a while. So I get your take on midterm rentals, but I think it's a huge, huge opportunity if you do it right to continue to buy real estate in a high interest rate environment, which I think is not going away anytime soon.
Yeah. So to kind of explain midterm rentals a little bit, I might just tell kind of our journey and our transition into short term and then midterm real quick. So short term rentals. So those are, what would you consider a short term rental? More of like a vacation type
Yes,
rental.
that's how I look
but
at
it
it.
doesn't have to necessarily be in vacation destinations, just shorter stays.
Correct.
You know, not a year or 2 year lease like your long term rental. It's usually like, you know, a minimum of 2 nights.
It's usually like
2 to 7 nights.
nightly and weekly is what I
Yeah.
would put as short term.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. So, you know, short-term rentals kind of were a big thing for a while. They're still big. And I would say we missed the wave on that a little bit, right? When they really started popping off with Airbnb and VRBO and being able to be your own host and and then as a consumer, to not stay at hotels, and you could go stay in cool houses and cool, unique places. So that was a really cool thing that happened in real estate. I think that doesn't get enough credit because that's so much fun to stay at a house with a pool than staying at the freaking Marriott or Motel 6 or wherever you stay.
And for sometimes, depending on the location, it's comparable price.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
midterms are cheaper than hotels, and you got a whole freaking house.
Yeah. So we wanted to get into it. So we have an apartment building in a cool part of town that we decided to convert some 2 of the units in the apartment to short-term rentals, right?
Mhm.
So, you know, you furnish it, you decorate the whole place, make it look really cool, take nice pictures, and then we liked it. We started making some money. It was cool. You know, people come to St. Louis for, you would think, not a whole bunch of things, but like for baseball games, for, you know, relay races, for art festivals, for a whole bunch of stuff, right? Relay races. I mean, like, I don't even know what I meant
You
there.
meant marathons?
Yeah, marathons and stuff.
Doing passing the baton on Washington Ave.
Right. So pretty cool, and it's worked for us. We've seen a lot of operational challenges with kind of like the in and out and in and out and in and out. You have to nail every move out. You have to every week. You have something to get right. You know, you have to make repairs. You have to do the cleaning. You have to set the entry and exit up perfectly for your next guest. And there's just a lot of moving pieces that can go wrong. The other maybe downside I would say to short-term rentals is, you know, it's people traveling with income, that extra income that they have, disposable income, and you know, during tough times, you know, that's definitely going to drop that amount of travel. Whereas, you know, you still got to live someplace long term.
The long-term route, yeah.
And then we'll talk about midterms here too. That's not going to change
Best of
much.
both worlds.
Yeah. So we transitioned. We shifted a little bit, and we wanted to keep doing the short-term thing, so we can maximize the income in our apartment building. So we went to a different apartment building that we own and decided to do a midterm rental in that. So the cool thing was we already had like the list of materials for the furniture, the decor. So we did that same thing at the supplies, and so we were able to decorate like a 2-bedroom place and furnish it for like, man, we can do it really good now for like $5,500 both. So we knocked that out, and we're interested in midterms, right, Sam? Because probably not as affected by the economy.
Nope.
You know, we are demographic. We're looking for people who are displaced from their homes by large insurance claims. You know, some sort of natural disaster like a fire or a tornado, like your in-laws got displaced for 18 months.
18 months. They did.
18
I think
months.
they did 3 6-month leases because they didn't know.
Yeah.
And that's midterm all day.
18 months, and they
the
all their
insurance
stuff's
paid,
gone.
And the
so
insurance
where do they
paid
live?
way more than market rate.
They need a place that's furnished, right? And they need to stay in there longer than nightly or weekly. And they need a number that makes sense for them and the insurance company. And you know, for them to fix their house, to move back in, that whole process, that rehab,
with insurance
that
and
insurance claim, it's a freaking nightmare.
It was insanely. It took 3 times longer than it should have.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I bet that's pretty damn standard for a
Well,
something like
I didn't
that.
say then standard. I said should have. I mean,
Should.
the
Then it should in
freaking
general.
thing didn't get touched for 4 months.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
like, what are you just sitting there with a tarp on the roof? Like, you should
Yeah.
be doing things.
So there's a lot of people like that that need a place to live for them and their family for longer than weekly or nightly, but maybe they don't want to sign a year or 2-year lease because they're not exactly sure when it's all going to happen. So that's our number one demographic, and maybe not number one, but up there. And then the other one who we're looking for is traveling professionals.
Yep. So there are. Before I dug in, Lucas, I didn't like how much people really need this 30,
Right.
60, 90 day. And there is so freaking many. Go to Furnish Finders, obviously get the course when you come out with it, but we go to Furnish Finders and you can see like how many people search in an area versus how much is available. And it is like insane. And not everybody that searches needs something right now, but it's like 100 to 1 or something. It's insane. And the main people that use midterm rentals are traveling nurses. There's a huge like industry out there that the nurses like to travel. They get paid more to do it. They go through these agencies that help place them. But traveling nurses, insurance displacements, corporate leases, people that come that need to live somewhere in a nice place while their house is getting built or they're moving. A lot of construction projects, people live in them, and then digital nomads, which is a new thing. There's a lot of people that want to just live in a different city every 3 months and they can work from home. So
Cool.
It is a huge industry. I would say 50% of it's traveling nurses, but there are other stuff in
Okay.
there. There are other stuff in there too. So traveling nurses is the thing to do for sure there. And a couple other benefits of midterms to give you some insight on the course is midterm rentals, Lucas, the tenants are like the best case scenario because short term, you're there for a few days. You're not there for a long time. You're there for a good time.
You can't really screen.
Kind of like my mustache. You can't really screen. And they live in it hard. They party, they have fun, or they have families and they overpack it. Too many people are staying. It's fine, but it's a lot of maintenance. In the long term, usually good people, you can screen them, but they live there all day, every day for a year. Stuff gets messed up. These midterm,
They go to work, they come back, they go to sleep.
Yeah, especially the traveling nurses. Yeah, and they like want to take care of it, and like especially if you have like an animal, or you, like we allow pets, or and then you like fence in. So it's the tenant base is really, really good. They take care of the property. They're not there that much, and then they pay literally 2 to 3 times as much per rent. So anyways, midterm, and then they stay for 30, 60, 90 days. So you have 4 move-outs a year, and you plan ahead, and you can lease it ahead of time, know when they're leaving, and you can get, 300 every 365 days rented, and you're just getting double the rent. It can if you do it right and set the systems a little more up front, but it is insane how much money you can make, and we're not even close to meeting the demand right now of supply.
I agree. I feel like this is like short-term rentals in 2017.
And last thing, as it gets over, like Dallas, you can't do short-term rentals in 30 days or more. Guess what? Standard midterm lease is 30 to 90 days. So you can get around all of these places that don't allow short-term rentals. Almost every single one is 30-day. That's how they get around it, and midterm gets around that.
Yeah. And like I was saying, it's like Airbnb in 2016, 2017.
Probably earlier, but
that's where we are right now, whereas Furnish Finder's cool, but it's nothing compared to what it could be. And what it will be. And like so I think we're just scratching the surface there, and I'm excited to be able to get into that, like kind of when we did, versus missing the boat a little bit on the short-term rentals. I
agree, and we have a whole course about it now, and then we're going to continue, obviously, digging further. And most of the people teaching the courses now have like 4 or 5 of them, and our boy Kiki's got 11, so he's helped us a lot with the course. So yeah,
he's stud.
Yeah, cool. All right, motivate them, Walls.
This is a section I always forget. I'm sorry. Motivate. Oh, geez. Like coming out into the year, right? Yep. Like we're recording this on the very first day of December. Probably come out
2 weeks, probably.
2 weeks. So you have a lot less time to wrap up the year. But I feel like a lot of time people get into the holidays, kind of slow down, which is cool, right? But man, I think it's a great time to push and finish strong and set yourself up great for the next year. And I love this time of year because I feel like a lot of the competition is taking time off while we're driving hard. And then
we used to buy quite a few houses when it was just like me and you with our full-time jobs, a side hustle, 14 to 18 time frame. We used to buy several houses in November, December.
That's a great point. Like real estate in general,
wasn't there as
exactly.
Much.
Yeah, it's a good, if you're going to look at for a personal house, it's a great time to buy a house right now, and investment properties as well.
It's a great time to buy a house because the numbers bear it out. You're going to get it for the exact same house for 5 to 10%, 5% less than you could 6 months earlier. Just with the summer, and every single summer, winter, it's a wave. You can see it in the data. So you get the same house for less, and then also it's a great time to buy a flip, bro. 3-4 month flip, you put it on the market in March, April, May kind of. It's a perfect time.
Probably same thing for a rental. You get it under contract in December, you close on it in January, rehab it for a month or two, and then list your rental for rent at the hot spring.
Time. No, it's a really good time to invest, and I would tell a lot of people to, don't wait for spring to start. That's when everybody's doing it. Why would you try to do the same thing everybody's doing?
Competition heats up.
And then just don't wait in general. You're never going to time the market perfect. It's never going to be a perfect scenario where interest rates are low, supply is low, competition is low, there's a ton of upside. It's like that never happens. If you're going to wait for that, you're going to be waiting with your thumb up your butt until you're 65.
Dude, I thought that was a great impromptu Motivation Monday.
I agree. So get in the damn game. Don't try to time the market. Get time in the market. Nobody makes their huge money when everybody else is making huge money. It's when other people aren't doing it is when you need to get in. So go out there, figure out how to invest now, and don't wait and try to time the market, because I've seen so many people say this smarter than us, and I think it's true. We say the same thing, though. I think interest rates are high. House prices are pretty high. I don't think interest rates are substantially going down anytime soon. I could see a quarter point dip in the spring and a quarter point maybe in the fall or something, but nothing major. But if interest rates do drop drastically, house prices are going to fucking skyrocket. So that $300,000 house at 8%, if you wait till interest rates are 5%, it's going to be $370,000 house. So it's going to offset each other. So there's no like perfect scenario that you should be waiting for, in my opinion.
I agree.
Cool. All right. If you don't make this, Lucas,
Oh yeah.
I think I'm ahead of you by 2 now, right?
Absolutely not. I'm ahead by 2.
You're not a.
I was,
you didn't make.
I was up to like 6.
You were up to
stopped
4.
counting.
You were up to 4.
There's no way. I think at least 3.
You're not making this.
How am I not making this?
Shenanigans. I almost got
Just
you.
not even close. You better make. Don't get the tight cheeks. Don't get them.
I don't get the
you
tight cheeks,
get
I
'em.
just suck. Look at this little. I can throw it off.
No. A swan.
I'm nervous now.
Hey, shoot the ball. Ooh, back rim. Nice.
That was good.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. We hope you got some major value from our conversation. If you love what you learn, make sure you like, rate, review the show, and help us spread the word by telling a friend.
If you'd like to learn more about working with me inside one of my programs, we'll have those links in the show notes, along with all our social media handles, so you connect with us there for free. If there's a real estate question you'd like us to answer, feel free to send us a message and we'll cover it in an upcoming show.